Hi friends, it's Nancy, and today we're going to make our first Christmas project of 2024. So I've made these before, or something similar, where I've taken an old button card, embossed it with an embossing folder, added some rickrack, and stitched on some old vintage buttons. So that's what we're going to do today, except instead of vintage buttons, I printed off a printable template that had all of these holly leaves on them. I now wish I had reduced the print to maybe 80% to make them slightly smaller because they're a little big. But that's okay. I just randomly cut away at some to make it fit a little bit better. And I will stitch those beads. I'll stitch those buttons down when the glue dries, but let me start at the beginning. So this one I used an embossing folder. This one actually had I'm not sure if you can see that. It actually had like an ornament here. So I just sort of put the card in sideways. And I'm going to use this gold. And I'm just sort of roughly measuring it so that I don't have to have too much. So on this edge, I'm cutting it at like a 45-degree angle. And I will start at the bottom. With some Fabri-Tac. This one I backed with some file folder some time ago, just so that it was ready to do something with and protected it a little. But I will be adding another piece of card. So I'm just pressing the rickrack. And this is vintage stuff that I got at a thrift store or something. And the older stuff is easier to work with. The newer stuff is stiff. So this isn't exactly to the edge that I'd like it to be. So I'm going to just hold this, give it a bit of a stretch so that I can hold that tip and bring that loop around. You want to see it at the front? This one, it's not going to be exactly on the corner. That's okay. Still going to give it the same treatment. And it sticks pretty fast too with that Fabri-Tac. slurp of coffee. So like I said, I just glued the template to the fabric, left it overnight. I used glue stick. And then yesterday I cut these all out so that I was ready for today. I'm going to make these a little smaller. This one needs a bit of more of a wow. Come back here, you. It looks extraordinarily large, so I will cut this one down a little bit. Okay. And I can grab some red buttons. They don't have to be the same, they can be different. Or I could just do one. That's cute. Ooh. You'll have to excuse my manicure. I don't know what I did to my poor hands, but this last manicure I was in within 3 days was a chipping mess. And I've just gotten home from a little holiday and I haven't had a chance to go see the young man who does my nails. Okay, I'm going to let that glue set up a minute before I stitch them down. And I had traced the button card onto this old file folder. So once I have those buttons stitched down, then I will glue this to the back to cover up. Okay. This one I'm going to try to do gold on. I Actually, that's awful. I don't like that at all. What about this one? Let's try it. Hopefully this will hold as good as the vintage stuff did. I don't feel like I'm going to get as much of a tug from it if I want to lengthen it. Rickrack does come in sizes, but I don't think it particularly matters. What size bump you use. Watched a movie on Netflix last night with Tom Hanks called A Man Called Otto, and it was based on a book called A Man Called Ovi. I don't know. OVE. Hang on a second. That was dear old Doug. He was just asking me about supper plans tonight. It's our anniversary. Which almost never do either of us remember. And just trim that down to make it look a little rounder. Okay. Not quite. gonna look for a gold button. I didn't really have anything shiny gold, so I thought about these two yellow glass buttons that I have. They're different from each other. Maybe I'll just do one. I do like it, but maybe I'll go a little more traditional. The red one? Okay, I will. Oop. Gotta make sure I glue down the right size. Or I mean the right side, not right size. Jeez. That one's pretty. Yeah. Ooh, look at that big red one. Okay. Stop looking. Go with the first one. Or the second one. Okay. Let's go back to this one, and I want to sew this down. I'm looking for a needle. And some embroidery floss. Now, the easiest way to do this is to get your mouse pad, and I guess I can use this needle, and just poke the holes through. And I'm not going to tie a knot. I'm just going to bring the needle up and then tape it down with a little bit of Scotch tape so that it won't show, it won't make a lump on the back, I guess. The needle's too thick. I'll have to switch out to a thinner needle. I chose it because it had a big eye, and I thought it would be easy to thread the six strands of embroidery floss. Let me find a smaller needle. Success, I have a needle. Yeah. That was more difficult than it had to be. Now, I did cut this, didn't I? Yeah, it was this one. I feel like it's that one. Ta-da! I can just pop that hole back in there. Yeah, I'm happy with how that turned out. Let's do this one. Just do one more stitch. Fill it up a bit. Is this one. A little bit of glue. this one, you better come through, you. There's a little bit of glue here. The ink or the dye from the button has come off. I don't think it's that noticeable. This particular button I'm sewing right now is fabric covered. Of course, you don't have to sew your buttons on if you don't want to. I just prefer the look of thread in the holes rather than appearing like it's just been glued on. Now, ta-da! I wonder what it would look like with different fabrics. So I was thinking like a green plaid fabric might be fun. Or more traditional green. But I like the tiny, tiny print on this one. So I'm going to do a few more and I will come back and show you. And then I'm also going to grab some seam binding to make the little pull through tag topper. I was looking for the original one. It had blue. Oh, there it is. It has blue ribbon. A seam binding, actually. All right. Okay. So here's what I got done. I made these two with gold rickrack and a gold ribbon. This one has red buttons and red ribbon. This one I used some dark green ribbon. I used pearl buttons on this one and a red one on this one. And then I ran out of green leaves and I thought, I'm going to do snowflakes. So I used 2 different snowflake dies and some blue fabrics and pearl buttons. I got the general idea for this project from something I saw on YouTube. No, sorry, Pinterest. I will put a link below. It's Button Floozy's blog or something like that. I kind of like the idea of having a button floozy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe you'll give this a try, or maybe it's sparked another idea in your creative mind and you wouldn't mind sharing what that is. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.